Class, my name is Peyton Errington, and this is my Unit C discussion post. And so go ahead and get it started. For my first quote, I chose, "What you will accomplish during a workday is determined before you start the day." And it goes on to talk about some other things, and then it summarizes what you will accomplish during a working day is directly related to planning and preparation. That's found on page 100. I think this boils down to the fail to plan, plan to fail type thing. And I think it's great for any profession, not just teaching, but if you get up and you aren't prepared for your day, you don't know what you're going to wear, you don't know what you're going to take for lunch, it just takes more time to make decisions that should have already been decided. So if you are a planner and you can get everything prepped and ready on Sunday, you know what you're going to be wearing either the day before or the whole week before, what meals you're going to take, you know, what you're going to have for lunch. Same thing with your kids, getting your kids ready, knowing what they're going to wear, what they're going to take for their meals. It just makes the whole day run a lot smoother. That way, you're not wasting time making those decisions throughout the day. You're not thinking while you're in the middle of a lesson, man, I'm hungry. Wonder what I'm going to have for lunch. You already know what you're going to be having for lunch that day. So just, again, fail to plan, plan to fail. Um, for my second quote, I chose students want to know who you are as a person and if you will treat each of them as a person. And that's found on page 116. I think it's important for us to remember that our students are tiny people. They're not just our students. They are people with feelings and emotions and opinions. And if we treat them as such, it just shows them that we respect them. What it boils down to at the end of the day is we spend probably more waking hours with our students than their parents do. And so we're not just teaching them the lessons, we're teaching them about life. We're teaching them how to be a person, and what kind of person we want them to be. And by being respectful to our students, by acknowledging them as people, we are ultimately, you know, instilling in them good moral values and just important things like that on how to be a person as well. I think that's really important. We often forget that just because they're young and little doesn't mean that they're not people too. They're just as valuable and important as we are. For the third quote, I chose structure mixed with care and love is what every child needs in his or her life. Structure mixed with care and love is what every student needs in the classroom. One of the main reasons that I wanted to become a teacher is I want to help people. I've always said that I want to be a safe and loving and supportive place for my students to come. Um, I have enough family members that are teachers. I've subbed. I have, enough knowledge to know that not every student comes from a safe and loving home. Not every student has parents that are kind and gentle, and we don't always know what they go through at home. I feel like a lot of times we do. We have a pretty good idea. But it's so important for us just to be a safe place for them to come and to learn and to just exist. That's extremely important to me. That's something that I really strive for. I hope and pray that I can be that safe place for my students. And I hope and pray that my own children go into a classroom with a teacher that makes them feel safe and loved and cared for, because that's important as a parent. My last quote. Specific praise allows students to see what they, as individuals, are doing well, and this helps them to gain the tools they need to maintain their confidence in learning by keeping them focused on the process of achievement, and that's found on page 207. This one really stuck with me. I don't know if you've ever taken the love language test to know what your love language is. My personal love language is words of affirmation. All day long, I would rather someone tell me that I'm doing a good job and specifically say, hey Peyton, you did a great job cleaning up the house today or taking care of your children today. But words of affirmation is just huge for me. Sorry, my dogs are acting crazy. And so I feel like children want that praise too. They want to know that they're doing a good job. They want to know what they did that was a good job. And it helps them grow. And like the quote says, maintains their confidence, not only in their learning, but just in themselves. And I feel like that's really important. You want your students to feel confident in themselves, so that they can go out throughout their day and just carry their head up high and want to be there and want to learn from you as their teacher. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Sorry, I cannot figure out how to stop this.